Hi guys, this is Cheryl with Architect Destiny, where we're building dreams, making plans, and reaching goals. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. If you're new, then welcome. And if you are an Architect Destiny subscriber, then you already know I appreciate you so much. And thank you for coming back for another video. So today I'm going to do part 2 of my mid-year planning system recap. If you missed part 1, I will put a link to that in the cards for you to go check that out. In part 1 of my recap, I went over in depth the Hobonichi cousin portion of my system and all of the different components of this book and how I use it to plan. So if you missed that, you'll want to check that out. But today in part 2, I'm going to go over the remaining books in my system. The first of which will be my reference notebook, which I keep in the cover with my Hobonichi cousin most of the time, not all the time. Sometimes I pull the book out and just use it by itself, the cousin. But I will go over my reference notebook. I will go over very briefly, my Wonderland 222 planner, which I use for Architect Destiny planning, for scheduling my social media and all the different things that I do there. I say I'll go over this briefly because I have already done an in-depth flip through, walk through, talk through of this planner, and I will link that video in the cards as well so that you can go see that if you want to find out more about this planner. And then this planner as well. I've done a flip through of this one, so I won't spend a lot of time on that in this video either. I'll make sure I link all of these videos for you to go look at and get all of the nitty-gritty on these. What I basically just wanted to do in this 2-part series is just to kind of give a mid-year overview of my my planning system as a whole for new subscribers and maybe people who have not seen all of my previous videos where I've done Plan With Me's and talked about my planning philosophy and talked about the different components of my system. I just kind of wanted to go over it for all of the new kids on the block. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just move some things out of the way and go ahead and jump into the second book in my system, which is the reference notebook. And like I said, there is a video out there on this book, so if you want to see a lot of details, you can go watch that. But basically, this notebook is a collection of long-term information that I need to keep track of, collections, reference information, prompts, lists and logs, and things that that I don't want to keep in my planner, which will change from year to year. These things are more of a permanent nature that I want to carry along with me as my planning system changes, as I go from year to year, and the information in this book doesn't change from year to year. So I decided I did need a separate book for this type of information. And just real quickly, by way of supplies that I used for this book, this is a Paper Penguin Co. 160 page Tomoe River paper grid notebook that I purchased on Etsy. And then the vinyls that I use to mark this with the word reference are from AshyLeighDesigns on Etsy. So that's what we have there. Then inside, as I mentioned, I just have, here's an index of all of the different types of information that I have in this book, even though it is already tabbed. Within the tabs, I may want to know specific pages where certain pieces of information are referenced. So I have created an index here and left several pages for that. This first section is titled Prompts, and in this section I have basically all types of routines and trigger lists and prompts of things that I may want to incorporate into my planner, or things that will help me if I'm doing a brain dump or adding to my collections, different types of lists that I might want to have, or different types of information that I want to keep track of or log in my planner or in my reference notebook. So I just, I collect these. This is my personal planning routine, which I also have on a card. Many of you have seen this, that I just pull out and use when I'm doing my monthly, weekly, and daily planning. And I just keep it tucked in here. Typically, this is where it lives as part of my system, is in my reference notebook. If I'm not carrying my reference notebook around with me, I'll take this out and just pop it into my planner. But for now, it's here. And so, as I mentioned, these are just a lot of prompts. They're from Better Over Perfect website. If you sign up for her email list, you will get access to her file cabinet of printables and different things. And these lists are some of the things you'll have access to if you're on her email list. So I just have that. I have my planning routine. I have a brain dump trigger list from Vienna Ortiz. I have the Getting Things Done flowchart from David Allen. These lists came from All About Planners, and they're titled Life Admin To-Do Lists. So these are just all types of things that you want to check in with, just as a course of keeping your life organized, and all things that you may not think about from time to time, like updating your resume. Just because you're not looking for a job doesn't mean you don't need to keep your resume up to date. So sometimes you just don't think about these kinds of things, reviewing your life insurance, stuff like that. So I like to keep these kinds of, again, trigger lists in my planner or in my reference notebook. Then I have this printable from Mom Envy that just talks about all the different planner sizes and how you can convert from one size to another. If you want to print a document that exists in one size, in a smaller size or a larger size, this just kind of gives you the conversion factor for how to do that. So I have that here. Then I have ring planner size chart. I have contacts and just different reference information, which I'm going to block all out because that's all personal. So I've left several pages to add to that. I have my work information log, where I log, when I started working, when I've gotten promotions, my salary increases, my bonus information, just work system login information, and all of that I keep here in this reference notebook. Then I have a section for meal ideas, my husband's favorites, meats and casseroles, veggies, side dishes, and salads. And then on some sticky notes, just some different things that I've run across either online or in reading that I want to make sure I incorporate into my meal planning and meal prep, like sheet pan dinners, looking up meatless recipes. I heard somebody in a video talk about 5 dinners, 1 hour. Anytime I hear something about how to feed people quickly, I'm interested. Yeah, that's what this is. These pages came out of a notebook, a cookbook that I also heard about on YouTube, and I can't remember the name of the notebook, the cookbook. I'm sorry. I'll have to put a little note up here when I go take a look at it. But it just basically gives you 26 weeks of meal prep ideas with different combinations of meats and veggies and potatoes and rice and things like that. And you can meal prep for a whole week using all these different combinations of things in different ways. My husband and I have tried it. We really love it. So I will actually probably take a picture of the cookbook and kind of insert it here so that you can see, since I can't remember what it is. But I want to keep this in my reference notebook so that I can use it for shopping if I'm actually like using these meal ideas for meal prep on a given week. I can always have this with me when I go shopping. This section, I keep track of medical appointments. When did we do what last? As far as physicals, my gynecologist, eye doctor, mammogram, bone density, tetanus, colonoscopy, when we had certain types of surgical procedures, when that happened, when we all got our COVID vaccines. I keep track of all of that on these pages. Finance notes. I use this kind of as a dashboard, just different types of information, different things I might hear about with regard to finances that I want to look into. Information on our credit cards, like what's the credit limit, what's the interest rate. I have that here. Just planner stuff, notes where I have all of the buy-sell trade groups on Facebook and Instagram that I've heard about. The dimensions of different sizes of planners, and free printables that I've heard spoken of in videos in different places, the best pens to use on Hobonichi cousin paper or Tomoe River paper, have that, and then these are my collections, songs and music, date night ideas, restaurants, things to try, gift ideas for my husband, wine and spirits, different things that we like or things that we would want to try, makeup and self-care product ideas, recipes and foods to try, shops that I like to shop at or want to visit, different activities that we can do outdoors or just different places, cultural activities, vacation planning resources, and then just miscellaneous. And I have several pages I can add to this. And then this is a tracker that's kind of personal. I'm going to go past that. A list of books that I want to read or book series that I want to read. As I read them, I check them off. In my actual planner, which I showed you in the first part of this recap, I actually have my reading log, books that I have completed in that year, the planning year. But this is like my overall books to read list. So that's how I differentiate that. More pages to add to that, things that I want to research. I messed up and started on the second spread and skipped this one, so I still have 4 pages for different things I have heard about or read about or saw online or was told about, and I want to look into it, like hot pot meals and Kanban board and Shakeology, mindfulness, Maniology, Morning Meltdown 100, the 75 Hard Mental Toughness Challenge, STEP program, how to organize your home office. All these things I've heard about and curious about and will check out one day. Information and resources on social justice. Home notes, this is kind of just a brain dump list of things about our house, things we might want to get done, different projects we might want to start or do, things we might want to purchase for our home, improvements we might want to make, and things like that. A couple pages for that. Coupon codes for different planner shops, wish list. This is my personal section. This is pantry section, and this again came out of that. Oh, the name of the cookbook is Cook Once, Eat All Week. It happens to be on the bottom of this. The cookbook that I showed you a little while ago, Cook Once, Eat All Week. These are items you can stock your pantry with. So I have this in here again, very helpful if I'm out shopping. I have my planner with me, have all of that. And then I have lots of blank pages here to add to this notebook. And then in the very back, I have my dual brush pen swatches, my Zig Clean color dot swatches, my zebra mild liner swatches, and that's it. So this is my reference notebook, which most often I keep in the same cover with my Hobonichi cousin, like so. When I keep these two together, I really feel like I just kind of have everything I need all in one place, and it's awesome. This is kind of heavy, to be honest. That does not bother me or deter me whatsoever. I don't mind it because I don't put it in my tote bag anyway. I just tend to carry it in my hands and just put it down on my desk or wherever I am. So the heaviness doesn't really bother me, but sometimes I just like to pull out this book and, you know, just carry this one, and that's all good. Versatility. But this is kind of my all-in-one life planner reference notebook combo. That is just kind of my everything planner. Next, and I won't go into great detail on this because there's a video out there, as I mentioned. This is my Architect Destiny planner, and I use it to plan any and everything that has to do with Architect Destiny. I just keep in the front some functional icon stickers here. I have this wonderful quote from Oprah Winfrey that I have pasted here in the front. I don't use the index pages in this book, and I don't really use the yearly overviews at all. I do use the quarterly planner as my goal planning template for Architect Destiny, and you can see it's divided into quarters. This is first quarter. It has a place for actually writing your goals or notes or whatever you want to use this for. I use it for writing goals, and then a place where you can block out what you're going to work on during which weeks or days, and I just found this really useful. I used it very heavily during first quarter, not as heavily during the second quarter. I just kind of worked from the written goals rather than trying to block out in weeks what I was going to work on. But I really like this layout. And as you can see up at the top, I have my color code of different things related to Architect Destiny work. Yellow is YouTube, orange is a presentation or a workshop. The teal color is Amazon influencers. Purple is Patreon, which I have not started yet, but plan to. I haven't decided between Patreon or YouTube membership type program, so still thinking about that. Instagram is the lime green. Then this kind of rose color is Facebook. The gray is affiliate marketing, and kind of the mint green is coaching. So that's my color code for Architect Destiny. This is third quarter, which we are in right now. Again, I have my color code at the top, and you can see I've kind of blocked out, because I am an influencer for AshyLeighDesigns for July and August. That is pretty much my focus. My focus is to publish one YouTube video per week and keep up with my posts for AshyLeighDesigns influencer team. So I've kind of just blocked that out for these 2 months. I'm realizing that's going to take up most of my time and focus. And then I'll kind of get back to some other things that I want to start working on at the end of the quarter in September. But I've kind of already got this quarter all set up and color coded for my filming for YouTube and my posting for Instagram. So that's that. And then I don't really use these trackers. I tried to, but I didn't really find it useful. So kind of nix the trackers. Then these are my 2021 overall goals for Architect Destiny. Then I started out kind of playing around with this as my life planner to see if it would work for me, and I decided it would not. So these are just kind of all test spreads. I didn't really start using this for Architect Destiny until January. And here I do my social media schedule. It just shows when I'm going to post and film and work on Amazon and different things. And then the thing that I really like about Wonderland 222 that is a huge positive is that the whole month is together. The monthly overall spread, and then the weeks for the month are all together. They're not separated like you have in the Hobonichi Cousin, so I do like that. So any specific plans for the week, I will block out in the weekly pages. Just kind of notes that kind of flow back to the goals that I block out in the quarterly section. I just kind of make like more detailed notes on the overview for that month. Again, there's my social media posting schedule, my weekly plans, and then for March, the goals overview with more detail, social media schedule, weekly plans, etc. So it just kind of goes on like that. This is July, starting Nicole AshyLeighDesigns, as I said, influencer team. So this is really covered over with Instagram, posting stickers and post ideas and things like that for the influencer team. And so I keep up with all of my posts throughout the week. This is this week. And then so on and so forth all the way through the year is how I will use that. Then in the back, I just have all the different sections, the things that are part of Architect Destiny. I have a section for YouTube ideas and a page for logging my revenue, Instagram post ideas and to-dos, Amazon ideas, and watching videos on how to increase my my exposure for my Amazon store, as well as tracking my revenue, ideas for Patreon. Let's see, back here we have affiliate marketing, coaching, Facebook, workshops, and then miscellaneous. And for all the things where I earn income, I have tabbed over here where the pages are to log my income. So that's kind of how I use this book, and just some little post-it notes and things tucked in the back here, a little loose note paper and so forth. So this is my Architect Destiny planner, and I really enjoy the Wonderland 222 format for that, and it's working well this year. Next, I have this little guy, and this is my Hobonichi Weeks that I'm kind of testing out as an on-the-go planner or potentially as a life planner. I know if I were to decide to use this as a life planner, I would need the Mega Weeks for sure. I would need all 200 and some pages that it has in the back for all the various sections of my planner. But I'm just kind of testing it out and playing around with it, and it's such a fun size. I just love how tiny it is. And this cover that I have on here is from Lauren Phelps Designs, and I just took a little Velcro fastener, both parts. I put the little fuzzy part on the back and the Velcro part on the tab, and I just close it like that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right now to keep it all together nice and snug and neat. And then when I'm using it, I just kind of tuck this in right here so that's out of the way. So basically, I have my yearly overview here. I'm using the Calendex as a mood tracker. I have the monthly spreads that I've already done a flip through of all of these. Then I have the weekly spreads that start here. I've already done a flip through of all of these. This is last week, this is the current week. And then in the back, I have started to put some of the most used spreads that I have in my Hobonichi Cousin. There's just some random notes. My credit card tracker I have here. I left a couple pages for that. My savings tracker, left a couple pages for that. Well, no, actually I only left one page for that. Online orders and my habit trackers. So I figured these are like my most used trackers out of my Hobonichi Cousin. So I put them in here to see, you know, if I just had this with me, how would it work to have all these trackers in the back and keeping up with them and all of that. And then I sectioned out some pages in the back just for notes. So that's how I'm using this. Then I have kind of a mini version of my reference notebook here. This is a Hobonichi week size notebook. It has Tomoe River grid paper in it, and I have just kind of written some passwords and just little reference information that I might need on the go, and it just fits very nicely back here in the back of the Hobonichi weeks, and perfect. And then I have just stuck some cute little samplers back here that are the perfect size to use in this planner. So I just stuck them in the back, and some Avery transparent dots as well. And then I also have in here my Stylogy 4-function pen in the 0.5 that I used to use a long time ago in my Hobonichi cousin. Then I switched to the Unijet Stream, so I just stick this one in here because I do love the multi-pens, because I love having my black and red ink, the same pen. One pen loop, one pen, multiple colors and functions. I like that. I also have my Hobonichi stencil in the front here. So yeah, that is all of my books, guys. The only other component of my system is my Home Cube pencil case, and you can find this in my Amazon store. I really love it. It's perfect size, it's portable, but it's very roomy as well. It has these pockets, Velcro pocket here. I just have some page flags and a Dunkin' Donuts gift card that I use for cutting washi if I don't have my craft knife with me. It's a zipper pocket here. I don't have anything in there. I've got a just a tiny ollie clip in here. I keep my Staedtler pigment liner in the 0.03. I use this for drawing lines in my planners. I have my Energel Clenna in the 0.5 blue-black ink, which I enjoy using in my planners. I have my Zebra Z-Grip Plus pencil, mechanical pencil. And I have my Friction 4-color ball pen that I like to keep with me. The Friction black ink is not really rich enough for me, and that's so unfortunate, because if it was, I would probably use this pen all the time. But it's more of a gray color than it is black, and I just like a rich black color. But I keep it in here just in case I ever want to use it for writing notes or whatever that I might want to erase or something like that, and don't want to have to bother with my, whiteout, that I can just use my erasable pen. And basically, this is not my full set of Tombow markers, but this is all of the Tombow markers that I use for all of my various color coding. For my mood tracker and for my color coding systems, these are the colors that I use. So these are the ones that I keep in my pen case. Excuse me, there's one more. Yeah, just a little trick for your Tombows to keep and I've shared this before in a video, I know, to keep the numbers from rubbing off, use some clear packing tape. I like packing tape as opposed to Scotch tape because it's really transparent and it's very durable, and it doesn't peel up and the corners don't lift up and stuff like sometimes Scotch tape does. But use some packing tape and just wrap over the number and seal it on there, and you don't ever have to worry about that rubbing off. I've got all of my Tombow marker numbers sealed onto there with packing tape. So there's a little hack for you. Then I also keep in my pencil case my We Are Crafters tweezers that I love to use when I'm placing stickers, especially small stickers. My Westcott 6-inch metal ruler with the cork on the back. Keeps it from sliding, and it also kind of lifts it up off the paper, so when you move your ruler you don't drag the ink with it. So I really like this. You can also find this in my Amazon store, as well as I think the polymer eraser is there. This is for my I can't speak, mechanical pencil, Pentel polymer eraser. And then my Sharpie fine point permanent marker that I use to write on page flags, post-it page flags, and different other types of page flags, where if you use a ballpoint pen or a gel pen, you could very easily smear. I like to write on those things with permanent markers, so I keep one in my pen case. And this is my beloved Bic Whiteout Exact Liner. I love this stuff. So I keep it with me at all times in my pencil case. So that is everything, all of the components of my system. Pencil case, Hobonichi Cousin Life Planner and Reference Notebook, Wonderland 222, Architect Destiny Planner and Social Media Planner, and my Hobonichi Weeks on the Go Planner. So guys, that is my planner recap. I hope you found that interesting and useful, and that you perhaps got a little transparent dot stuck on my nail there. It's been going along for the ride probably for most of the video. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting and that you got some ideas for your planning system. Please do share your planning system ideas with me, things that you do, things that work for you. If you use any of these types of planners or planner supplies, I'd like to hear what you think and how they're working for you. So feel free to leave any of that information in the comments, and of course, if you have any questions for me on my system, I welcome your questions. I do make sure I check my YouTube comments section a couple times a week, and I always answer you back as soon as I can. So thanks for joining me for the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you are a functional planner person, that's me. That's what I do. That's what the kind of content you will find on this channel. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, so that you will get informed every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much. Okay guys, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.